here it is. It's been 6 months since I bought this car, and I tell you what, I've been really happy with it, and I thought I would just do a quick little video showing you all the little things, all the little issues that I've had, which haven't been much, but there's been some things that have been popping up, some things that I like and I don't like, and just overall my general 6-month experience with this car. And yeah, so here we go. Man, can you believe I've had this car for 6 months already? I sure can. Time sure flies by. I bought this car in January, late January 2016. It is now August 2nd, which is about 6 months. It's a little over 6 months. And you know what? This car has been great. It's been absolutely perfect in terms of the mechanicals, the electronics, no issues. You know, there are a few minor little issues, which I'll get into here, but high-level summary, if you don't want to watch the entire video, I'm really happy with this car so far. It's like the 96 that I had before. I had that thing for 3.5 years. I never had any problems with it. And the same thing is happening with this car. It's been 6 months. It's been flawless. Well, not flawless, but it's been overall very good. And it was a good purchase. You've seen my videos where I complain about it, and I'm just talking about things that I don't like, and I'm complaining that it's too big, and hell yeah, I still think it's way too big, but it's a fun daily driver. It's because of that. It's just so much fun. It's so powerful. There's so much torque, and it sounds awesome. It's 100% stock, so yeah, I mean, it could sound better if I put an exhaust on it, and it would handle better if I put a suspension on it, but overall, geez, it's been a really, really good car. So let's get into a few things here that have come up since I've owned it. These aren't major issues, they're just little things, things that I've experienced that have just kind of bugged me a little bit. First things first, I'm still having a little bit of issue with the shifter here. I'm getting used to the way it shifts. I've complained a lot about the way that it's really hard to get into gear, and I can't pull away from a stop in first gear very easily. The clutch is very, very sensitive. Getting used to that. I'm not bucking and stalling the car as much as I used to, which is good. I don't look like a total noob anymore, which is cool. But I'm having a little issue when driving the car hard, especially the 2 to 3 shift, like 2, 3. For some reason, and this may be user error, I'm fully, I will admit that it could be me, but at full throttle, going from second to third, sometimes it just will not go in third. I mean, it will not go in third. Just fast shifting like that, high RPMs, it just won't go all the way up. And I have to, it won't go. And I think it may be because of user error, because I've discovered that this car, sometimes, the shifter is so notchy that it won't go into gear if the clutch isn't all the way to the floor. And I'm thinking that, I'm driving so fast, and I've got the adrenaline going, I've got the clutch in, and if I don't really time that right, if I don't have the clutch all the way to the floor, and I don't time that third shift right, I don't time it right when it gets into third, it doesn't sync up, and it doesn't get there, and it just like, but I will say that it feels like something is broken or something is out of alignment or adjustment, simply because it just won't go. I mean, normally if you miss a shift, you can just bang it in gear, it'll go in there, but this, it just won't go. I mean, as much as I push it, and as much as I try to get it in there, it won't. So I know the transmission has been an issue with these cars, especially when this car came out in 2011, or this engine and transmission combination. That was the big issue. The transmission, it was so notchy, and so many people complained about it. And Ford said that they fixed it, and they made some changes, and then for the next 2012 model year, it was fixed, no issues. But I'm still having issues with it, and yeah, so that is the biggest thing. I don't drive this car very hard, so it's not very often that I do that. But it's like when I push it, when I'm having fun, the 2 to 3 shift, second to third gear, it's just awesome. The car just sounds awesome. There's so much torque, it's pulling so hard, and you just want to bang third, and it's just not there. So I don't know. This car's got to go in for a recall. That's another issue. The airbag, that whole Takata, I think that's the name, Takata, the airbag thing, the company out of Japan, that scandal, whatever that was. Anyway, this car has that airbag system. It's got to go in for the recall. So I think when I take it in, I'm going to have them look at the transmission as well. I know they're not going to do anything with the transmission. It's just one of those things. You're going to look at it and say, yeah, it shifts fine. And again, you know, it's one of those things. I don't want a tech or a service tech taking my car out and just banging the gears. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably nothing, just because it's not that big of a deal. Speaking of driving this car and driving it hard, I am a little bit ashamed to admit that I have only put 1,568 miles on this car since I bought it. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like I barely even drive this thing in 6 months. But I drive this car 5 days a week, to and from work. It's not very far. It's 15 miles round trip. So it's not like I don't ever drive this car. I'm driving it all the time. And, you know, I don't drive a lot in general. Usually if I'm going somewhere that's not work, I've got my wife with me, and we have to take the Honda Fit because she doesn't like this car. Which leads to another issue. You've heard my rant before that this car is just too big. It's way too big. And my wife completely agrees. She's very petite, very small. She's about 5 foot tall, maybe 5'1", and she can't see out of this car. I mean, literally, she can't. I mean, the door sills, they come up right up to her eyes, and she doesn't like it. I mean, she likes the car. I mean, she thinks it's cool, but it's just like she can't enjoy going anywhere because she can't see. And I understand. It's a big car. You know, and that's not a fault of the Mustang, or I'm not slamming the Mustang. It's just, it is what it is. My 350Z that I had before, a few years ago, 6 years ago, it's been more than a few years, that car had the same problem. So it's just, you know, it's just something that happens with sports cars. It's just one of those things. So overall, I've been taking pretty good care of this car. It's in really great shape still. It was in great shape when I bought it. Very few nicks and scratches and scrapes. It was very clean. But I tell you what, you know, I found a few things that are kind of gross. You know, I guess that kind of happens with any used car that you buy, but the main thing is over here on the driver's side door, there's like something like really greasy and nasty on the side of the seat next to the door and on the door a little bit. It's kind of gross, and I can't really figure out what that is, and it doesn't clean off very well. I tried, but it's still there a little bit. There are some leaves in that door, or that weather seal, that I can't get out. I mean, the door panel is going to have to come off. So the previous owner obviously parked this under a tree all the time, because there are leaves everywhere. You open the hood, you open the trunk, and the door, the weather stripping there's leaves, and dirt and dust and nasty. I mean, overall the car's pretty clean, but yeah, it's pretty gross. And yeah, even in the back seat there's a little bit of a smudge and grease and gunk, and I have no idea what it is, but you know, overall can't complain. It was a clean car when I bought it, definitely worth the price. And overall, I mean, it's, for being street parked and sitting outside, it's held up pretty well so far. The only appearance issue that I've had in the 6 months that I've owned it is on the wheels that I put on this car, the Sparco Pro Corsas, there's that the Sparco logo in the center of the wheel, and the one on the passenger or the driver's side rear fell off. I don't know if it fell off or if somebody took it, but it's gone, and it kind of stands out. It's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, so it's just gonna have to stay that way. So to wrap this up, 6 months of ownership, 1,500 miles. I know, I hate saying that. It's like, I need to drive this car more. Anyway, 1,500 miles. Ford has pretty much nailed the Mustang. They know what they're doing. It's a reliable car. It's dependable. Parts are cheap. So hey, you know, if you're a kid, you're wanting a fast, cheap car, the Mustang's the way to go. Insurance is going to be a little bit pricey. For me, it's not so bad because I'm a little bit older, but overall, I'm real happy with this car so far. It's big, it's got its issues, yes, but it is what it is. It's a Mustang, it's big, it's fat, it's heavy. I like it, this is cool. All right, so to end this video, quick pull for you. See, there it is, right there. Third gear, wouldn't go. I don't know, man. That is really annoying. Oh well, I'm still happy with this car. It's a lot of fun. Can't complain. Looking forward to the next 6 months for sure.